Are you someone who wants to learn this amazing art of landscape photography? Then you've come to the right place. I'm Kush Sharma. I'm a professional photography and video making instructor, and in this very elaborate landscape photography for beginners course, I will be teaching you all the aspects that you can possibly imagine when it comes to landscape photography, all in one place. Now let me just quickly discuss how this course is structured so that you understand everything. This course has been divided into 4 different phases. Phase 1 is all about learning the different principles of landscape photography. For example, here we will be learning about what are the correct times to do landscape photography. We'll be talking about things like the golden hour, how to track that using different mobile apps. We'll also be talking about different rules and principles of composition. That means how to compose your landscape shots. We'll also be talking about the settings that you will have to use when you're taking your landscape shots, which will include your shutter speed, of course your aperture, which is going to be very important, and your ISO, and even small but very important things like where to focus in your landscape shot. We'll also be talking about some advanced techniques like focus stacking, which makes sure that your landscape shot is very sharp right from the foreground to the background. Here we'll also be talking about the concept of dynamic range and what are some of the techniques to artificially increase the dynamic range so that even if you're using an entry-level camera, you can still get good shots which have a high dynamic range. This is called as HDR photography, and this actually forms a big part of this course because this is present in all the 4 phases inside this course. We'll also be talking about the different photography equipment and gear that you'll be needing for landscape photography. We'll be spending a lot of time on, of course, the tripod, how to buy a good tripod, how to buy a good premium wide-angle lens, and so many other things. Finally, once you're set and you're warmed up after phase 1, we will be moving to phase 2, which is all about practical exercises which will demonstrate the usage of some very important accessories without which landscape photography is no fun at all. And these accessories include the polarizing filter, which is what the section will start off with. And you're going to find out that the polarizing filter will just help you achieve some really good shots with a lot of contrast and, more importantly, without any bad looking reflection and glare. You'll also be learning about the famous neutral density or the ND filter. And here we'll be learning how to get some really nice looking extreme long exposure shots by using some extremely strong ND filters like a 10-stop ND filter. I'll be completely guiding you through a field exercise which will show you how to even calculate the exposure of such shots in the correct manner using some mobile apps so that when that ND filter is mounted on top of your lens, you will absolutely have no problem in getting the correct exposure along with the desired effect. We'll also be talking about accessories like the graduated neutral density filter and even ways by which you can actually replicate the effect of a graduated ND filter inside an editing software. At this point, I'll also be showing you how to actually apply the technique of focus stacking inside Photoshop. And finally, this section will also cover how to edit a high dynamic range shot right from scratch inside Lightroom. Then we'll be moving on to phase 3, which is about understanding all the different steps that you have to take in the correct sequence when you're out there taking your landscape shot from scratch. This is a big document that you will get your hands on. I'll be explaining you each step inside this document, and also I will be teaching you about some important techniques like bracketing. Finally, when we are all set to go out and take the shot, that time we will go into phase 4 where I'll actually go out and take an entire landscape shot right from scratch using that checklist document that we saw in phase 3. So this will just reinforce all the learnings from phase 3 because all those steps will be presented to you right in front of your eyes as I'm taking that shot. But it won't stop there because in phase 4 we'll also be editing this particular shot, and that itself is a process that I'll be teaching you right from scratch. This will involve the usage of both Lightroom and Photoshop, and we'll actually be switching between both these software quite often in order to get the final result. So this is what awaits you if you decide to sign up. This really is a one-stop course where you learn the entire art of landscape photography in one place. So if you like the sound of all that, don't wait any longer, sign up right now and we'll get started straight away.